Okay, I am not here for anybody's entertainment. That's a stolen quote from Ron Taylor. Kate is on the line. So is Katie Mullins. Noam, I'm going to give you your 10 minutes of stuff, and then we're going to do the anti-podcast, because that's apparently what we do now. Also, hard stop at 1 p.m., because, who needs a Joe Rogan experience? There's only one of those. I want to talk about, just real quick, the top 25 players in the 2021 recruiting cycle re-ranked, because I think it's interesting as the 247 Sports Composite was updated in the middle of the week last week, because we had the Rivals 250 drop, and we saw, lots of commitments. It was Commitment Friday. Speaking of which, Colin Oliver gets my Miles Slusher Award for 2021 as he is the best player in the state of Oklahoma not to receive an offer from the University of Oklahoma, which I don't really understand. 6'2", 220 pounds, out of Edmond, Santa Fe. He's a great inside linebacker. He committed to Oklahoma State 1 year exactly to the date for which they offered him. Good on him. I don't know why Oklahoma hasn't gotten involved, but I'm sure that they will. Also, you probably know by this point that 4-star, 5-star in the ESPN rankings, Mario Williams chose Oklahoma coming out of Plant City. He's a two-sport athlete, plays for the Raiders, which is awesome. Can probably play baseball and football at the next level. I expect him to do that. He's got legitimate 4.4 speed. He's got terrific hands. They also picked up edge rusher, 6'4", 220-pound Clayton Smith. He of the Reggie Cleveland All-Stars, coming out of Texarkana, Texas. When they need a bucket, they split him out wide, put him on the numbers, and say, go get it, big fella. And when he's not doing that, he is in a 4'9", coming off the edge. He is bigger than any running back you're going to try to use to chip him, and he is faster turning the corner on any offensive tackle you want to put in front of him. Alex Grinch has a clear prototype that he wants for his outside linebacker rush in type. It is 6'4" across the board. Reggie Grimes is 6'4". Joseph Wette is 6'4". David Ugwebu is 6'4". And now Clayton Smith in this 2021 class, for which there are 7 commits in Oklahoma's recruiting class inside the top 25 at number 24, is 6'4". Now, re-ranking of the top 25 players according to, the 247 Sports Composite, and then taking a look at, who some of these dudes are and where they're committed or might end up being committed. I did this big thing about Emeka Egbuka. You can go check that out on the channel. We got Will Shipley at number 25, committed to Clemson. White Chocolate in the house, Weddington, North Carolina. My man got 2,000 yards rushing, 500 yards receiving. He is a monster in the open field. I think the comp to him in the recruiting ranks is probably a Jake Smith. Came out of Arizona. He's going to Texas. I expect him to start in the slot now that Devin Duvernay is a Baltimore Raven. Jatavian Sanders, athlete out of Denton, Texas, committed to Texas. JaQuincy McKinstry, all-namer, Pinson, Alabama. He's committed to, we'll see, right? Donovan Jackson out of Bel Air, Texas, committed to Ohio State. He is one half of an offensive tackle group that includes Cullen Montgomery. So if you're playing up against Episcopal in Bel Air, Texas, on one side, you have the kid that's committed to Ohio State. On the other side, you have the kid that's committed to Oklahoma. And good luck to you, sir, trying to edge off that. Then at number 21, Dylan Brooks, the top recruit, second top to recruit, second 5-star in the Tennessee class, coming out of Roanoke, Alabama. I'm not sure if that's going to stick, but if it does, good on Jeremy Pruitt. Mason Smith, defensive tackle out of Houma, Louisiana. We'll see. He's in a package deal with Corey Foreman, so that's going to be interesting as somebody's going to get the number 1 player in the 247 Sports Composite and one of the best defensive tackles. All on the same team. Could be Georgia, could be LSU, could be USC. Definitely not going to be Clemson because they have not offered Mason Smith. Travion Henderson coming out of Hopewell, Virginia, committed to Ohio State in March. Part of a run for Ohio State in which they are trying to challenge for the best recruiting class in the history of recruiting classes. I really, really love his game. Damon Payne coming out of Bellevue, Michigan. We'll see if Michigan can actually get in there, but Michigan has been a laughingstock, particularly because Jim Harbaugh decided to insert his thoughts about pro-life versus pro-choice into COVID-19, and then comes up with his pro-NFL draft memo looking very Jerry Maguire, the Jerry Maguire that got fired, not the Jerry Maguire that signed Rod Tidwell because, Jim Harbaugh ain't got the juice like that. Kamara Wheaton coming out of Garland, Texas. 50% of crystal ball show him going to Oklahoma, but SMU is very much in the mix, and they could end up with not just him, but Savion Byrd and Preston Stone. We'll see how that goes. J.C. Latham coming out of IMG Academy, one of the top offensive tackles in the country. Could be going to Oklahoma, could be going to Ohio State. We'll see. Carries 285 pounds like it's 265 pounds. He's got tremendous bend. He's a dancing bear, and I love it. J.J. McCarthy coming out of LaGrange, Illinois. We'll see what happens with him. I mean, Michigan, we think, but, I'm not really going to pull for the kid in that way because I just haven't seen it yet. Nolan Rucci, top offensive tackle coming out of Lititz. That's right, Lititz, Pennsylvania. We'll see if Penn State ends up pulling him, but if they don't, it'd be Clemson. Tristan Lee had dropped a top list, and Clemson seems to be way ahead there. Another great offensive tackle in this class. Brock Vandegrift, you know who he is. He's committed to Georgia, was once committed to Oklahoma, and then Oklahoma might actually be able to trade up from a 5-star to a better 5-star. That's a flex. That's a dominant flex. James Williams coming out of Apopka, Florida. They can't spell it right on this particular thing, but top safety. And Terrence Lewis coming out of Apopka, Florida, right? Outside linebacker, 5-star recruit, committed to Tennessee. We'll see if that sticks. Sam Heward. We haven't talked enough about Sam Heward and what he could be and how Emeka Egbuka and he could perform as a dynamic duo for Washington if Egbuka ended up picking his home state, Washington Huskies. But the effortless release, the no wasted motion, he's going to be a pretty good prospect. Might even be a first-round pick when it's all said and done. Of course, Egbuka, number 8 on this list. He's still considering Oklahoma, Clemson, Ohio State, and Washington. Watch the video for more about him. He could play college baseball at the next level as well. Tremendous awareness and 4.4 speed. Tony Grimes coming out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Tidewater in the house. Ohio State, Vatech. We'll see where it ends up. I like his tackling. I like his tremendous IQ on the field, or not even IQ, intellect. Amarius Mims coming out of Cochran, Georgia. Again, another dude that Georgia hopes to get, but we'll see. Caleb Williams, 24 crystal balls. 24 crystal balls showing Oklahoma. Matter of time is what many people think. Really outstanding player, that like the top-rated quarterback of the last 10 years coming out of the Mid-Atlantic region. Lincoln Riley would be lucky to get him. Tommy Brockmeyer, also coming out of Fort Worth, Texas. Maybe Texas is in there. Maybe Georgia's in there. We'll see how it figures out. Jack Sawyer's been committed to Ohio State for a very long time. Coming out of Pickering, Ohio, one of the top players in this 247 sports composite. And yeah, he is the heir apparent to the Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa crown that was once run by Jace Young. Now, JT Tuimoloau is coming out of Washington as well. He's considering Ohio State, Washington, a couple other places. Alabama's in there. Ohio State is what we think until further notice. And then Corey Foreman. Corey Foreman made waves earlier last month when he reopened his recruitment after decommitting from Clemson, wanting to take trips. We know that Dabo Swinney has a no-trip policy. USC seems to be the leader in the clubhouse as they have a former teammate of his, and Drake Jackson is probably going to show out. They have a tight bond with him in the Los Angeles area, but you really need Clay Helton to show out this year and keep his job. I'm not sure that that's what's going to happen, but if it can, I think Corey Foreman can not only end up there, but also be with Mason Smith. So that's a very quick rundown of the top 25 recruits in the 2021 cycle. I'll have more to say about it later.